why would you be mad at President Trump for making our cities safer? By Trump locking up all these dangerous criminals, he is actually saving more black Americans than anybody who want to race bait, race hustle, and make money off of black pain. You know, I give President Trump a lot of credit because he's doing what should have been done a long time: enforce the law, lock the criminals up.
Facts. Facts. He's doing exactly what should have been done a long time ago, right? And I want to show something to you guys because I've been looking at this, and I've actually made probably 2 videos on this so far already. This is going to be a 3rd video. The mainstream media narrative isn't exactly what the truth actually is, because the mainstream media is trying to push this narrative that, oh my goodness, black people are being attacked. Black people in DC hate this. Black people in DC don't want this. When in reality, when you talk to actual DC residents that live in these areas where this crime is happening, they actually do want it. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of those stories once again, and then we'll get into something else that I found really, really interesting. And it's really going to blow the lid on the Democrat narrative. So let's dive in.
My husband first. It was the 1st of January of 2021. He was trying to help an elderly man and he was stabbed to death. My son, somebody came up behind him and shot him 8 times, twice in the head, 6 times in the body, and he's a paraplegic now. So believe me, gun violence is personal for me.
When you hear from city leaders and others that crime is actually down, are you seeing that?
No, I'm not seeing it. We're seeing carjackings, the violence in the communities. So we were advocating then for the National Guard to come out, but they said there was no need. But think about how many lives could have been saved just having them on the scene.
And Asia says still to this day, she's not heard from one detective about those crimes committed against her family. Now for Tempe Satcher, another DC resident, her son BJ was gunned down in a random drive-by shooting on the way to work 2 years ago, and she does not feel that crime has calmed down.
Just today, a young lady was shot over on 15th Street in Northeast DC. Does that seem like crime gone down? With all the things that are going on with our president, you know, sending the National Guards out, I don't have a problem with that personally, because if MPD can't do it and they need help, then I'm glad they're able to get the help.
So you heard that there, okay? Black residents in DC that are being affected by this nonsense want Trump there. They were talking about the National Guard coming before. Right? So now that Trump is doing it, it's great. Now, Democrats, for the most part, are pushing back against that. But some of them are realizing, maybe we better stop doing that because it's not going to turn out well for us.
Covering the crime crisis in D.C., Baltimore, and a lot of areas in the country. And when they hear the stats being told, a lot of people tell me it just doesn't paint the full picture. How do you see it?
Well, I think we have to be willing to say the quiet part out loud. And I think as Democrats, it's facing uncomfortable conversations about crime. Look, no one wants to put kids in jail or lock them away for life. But when we ignore a problem...
Nah, I do. These YNs, yeah, lock them up for life. For life, okay? Don't say nobody, because I do. These YNs is crazy out here. Crazy. Like, they don't care at all. They will rob you, stab you, shoot you. Broad daylight. Broad daylight. They do not care. It ain't like this type of stuff only happens at night. Like, nah. You leave your car door open that's just a little too long at the gas pump, your car's gone. Broad daylight. They do not care. Get rid of these folks. Lock them up for life.
problem, we allow it to fester, and we don't target what the founding issue of the problem is. And I believe for DC, a lot of that has to do with our youth and with education. I mean, DC for 2022 to 2023 had about 40% of kids that faced chronic absentee. So that means they missed 10% or more of the school year. Well, where are those kids when they're not in school? They're outside causing a little bit of chaos. They're raiding grocery stores, drug stores. They're putting entire sections of the city under curfew. And the fact of the matter is the president is addressing something that is very real. We can live in this city and say it's a beautiful city, and we can also say that we have a chronic issue when it comes to our youth.
See, this is what some of the residents in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. The Democrat Party is realizing, this message ain't going to go over very well. Even Joe Scarborough.
Let's look at the numbers there. There's a Washington Post poll that was published just a couple of months ago. 91% of Washington, D.C. residents said that crime was a serious problem, with half of D.C. Residents saying it was an extremely serious problem. So that's 9 out of 10 voters telling you crime is a problem. Don't tell them it's not a problem. This is short-sighted. This is not helpful. Also,
yeah. So you just heard that from MSDNC chairman, right? Joe Scarborough. Yeah, maybe we should stop telling people that crime is down, because when you talk to these folks, they're all saying that crime is not down. Maybe we should stop doing that. But of course, the Democrat Party won't listen, and they're pulling their old tactics. And actually, I played this clip during yesterday's show, but I want to play it again for those that might have missed it, because I do think it's majorly important to really show you and explain to you exactly what's going on in D.C. So when you see these protests, keep in mind, these folks are being paid.
Protesters feel the same about federal law enforcement. But the fury may not be fully organic. Fox News has learned that paid protester requests have increased 400% since President Trump announced the federal takeover of D.C.'s police department. The New York Post reports that high-dollar donors like George Soros have pumped more than $20 million into protest groups currently organizing demonstrations in the district.
Why are you here? You're trying to arrest innocent people?
According to the White House, 45 arrests were made last night for reasons including assault, drug distribution, and illegal firearms. 29 illegal immigrants were also apprehended. The district's police chief, Pamela...
We don't need to listen to the rest of that. So you heard it. Paid protesters. And I want to show y'all something, because it gets crazy, because we have a little bit of proof here. Now, keep in mind, D.C. is a city that is 50% people of color, right? 50%, about half of the city. I want y'all to take a look at these protesters, though. What do you notice about this? In a city that is half black, what do you notice? First off, that is the most ineffective protest I've ever seen in my entire life, right? That is the most ineffective protest I've ever seen. Like, you're banging on pots and pans. Congratulations. Now, before I reveal what was missing going on with that clip, and you can comment below what you think, I want to play this clip of this other protest as well.
Here's a real cop. He has a badge. He has insignia. He has his name on his chest.
What do you notice about this clip?
That's a real cop.
Fuck no.
Go
He
home.
harasses citizens. He's not a real cop.
What did you notice about that clip? That is a city that is half black. Did you see a single black person out there protesting? A single person? I didn't see one. Not a one. So when you have a situation where it's understood that people are being paid and the people that are out there protesting are all white, makes sense. These are some out-of-towners. These aren't the actual residents of DC. These aren't the people that are actually being terrorized in these communities. These are some people that were sent here to be paid to protest. That is it. Because when you actually talk to DC residents And for those of you that have watched the show the past few days, you will know I've made 2 other videos chock full of black people from DC talking about how they love what Trump is doing. And here's some more clips, okay? I got a couple more clips for y'all to end this video off, just to really prove my point.
Finally able to chill at a red light with my window down, not worried about if one of them young niggas is coming. Riding through the city, feeling more safe than I ever felt.
Riding through the city, I'm able to keep my window down at a red light now because I'm not worried about these YNs out here terrorizing the city. Does that sound like a person that is completely against what Trump is doing? Not at all. Not at all. Now I want to play this other clip of this young brother here. I'm going to skip ahead because he reacts to a clip of this chick saying that Donald Trump hates black people. But I'm gonna skip ahead in that and get to the nitty gritty, the meat and potatoes. All right.
Fear-mongering at its best. The reason why President Trump actually kicked off and did this is because a 3-year-old black girl died. Because all of the violence that's been happening in Washington, D.C. Now, I sit back and I tell myself, why do all the Democrats love crime so much? Like, if you really think about it, out of the top 25 states, at least 22 of them are democratically ran. And do you also notice whenever these people are trying to push their bullshit, they always try to target the black folks? This be their favorite thing to do. Black folks are over here minding their own business, and Democrats keep trying to bring them into their bullshit. And she's gonna downplay that she's a white Latina? Girl, have some pride. That is fear-mongering at its best because that shit makes no sense how the Democrats loves crime so much. They love to say, oh, President Trump is this, President Trump is that. President Trump is military.
Democrats love crime because they garner power and votes during it. I'm trying to think of how I want to word this. Democrats use people's pain to get support. And if there's no pain, then Democrats can't get any type of support, right? You see that time and time again with these Democrat-run cities, and when Democrats were just in charge, they're not really interested in really fixing things. And it's one of the things that I noticed a couple of years ago, right, on this journey of discovering the truth, as I like to call it, is that Democrats will promise the moon, sun, and the stars. Oh, we're going to fix this. Oh, we're going to fix that. Oh, we're going to do this. Oh, we're going to do that. And they get all the power, right, and they do absolutely nothing, right? They have the ability to pass every single bill possible that they ever wanted. They have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Republicans can do nothing to stop them, and they don't do it. They wait until Republicans get the House or Republicans win back the Senate, and then that's when the Democrat wants to bring up the bill. Oh, we're going to pass a bill for reparations. Oh, let's put this up for a vote. And then when Republicans vote no, they say, oh, see, Republicans don't like you. They hate you. But you just had the opportunity to pass it on your own. Those are the games that Democrats play. Those are the exact games that Democrats play because, I mean, if you really think about it, we as black folks, by and large, have been voting Democrat for, I don't know, 60, 70 years now. And you still see some folks complain about the same thing that we were complaining about 60, 70 years ago. So what have we gotten in exchange for our vote from the Democrat Party? I'll wait. Yeah, exactly. Nothing. So I just wanted to show that to y'all because I thought that was quite interesting. The narrative that is being pushed out is not the truth, right? A lot of black folks love what Trump is doing because the city is safe. People can actually go out and have their window down at the red light, or as my brother said, I believe I put that in the show yesterday. As my brother said, he can pump his gas and not worrying about a YN hopping in his car and taking off while he's pumping his gas. You know, the whole nine, right? No gunshots. You can walk down the street, not hear gunshots all over the place. You can go out on a town without worrying about being robbed or anything like that. So, hey, man, don't believe the mainstream media lies. Don't believe it. Anyway, y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.